In the fast-paced game of hockey, a lot can happen in 1 minute. Games can be won or lost, players injured, and in the case of Larry Kwong, the face of hockey changed forever. 70 years after making his NHL debut, Kwong passed away in Calgary at the age of 94. But as Brenna Rose reports, Kwong's impact on the sport will live on.
This is where I first started.
Larry Kwong couldn't have known then the mark he'd go on to leave on the game of hockey.
My mother bought me the first pair of skates. I can still remember that.
Born to Chinese immigrants who settled in Vernon, BC, Kwong laced up for the first time at the age of 7, honing his hockey skills on outdoor rinks.
Was maybe 20 kids, and then you just had to stick handle. You had each had your own puck, and you were trying to take it away from each other.
By March 1948, he got the call he'd been practicing for, the opportunity to play with the pros. Although Kwong's time in the NHL didn't last long, it's a moment that brings his family a lot of pride.
People always used to tease him like, oh, you only played 1 minute. Well, that was probably 1 minute more than that person played.
That one shift for the New York Rangers, breaking the color barrier, making Kwong the first player of Asian descent to make it to the National Hockey League.
And there was a lot of prejudice in those days. And so 70 years later, to have this recognition and on his passing, to have condolences from around the country is really marvelous.
Kwong was inducted into the Okanagan, BC, and Alberta Sports Hall of Fame, helping to keep his story alive.
If Canada prides itself on being an inclusive society, then I think Larry's story definitely should be in the national storybook.
He wasn't able to travel to Vancouver last month when the Canucks paid him tribute.
His daughter Christina and his grandchildren Madison and Samantha are with us for this very special occasion.
And just last week marked the 70th anniversary of Kwong's NHL debut. He passed away 2 days later. Larry Kwong was 94 years old. Brenna Rose, CTV News, Calgary.
Kwong's funeral details will be announced next week. The family is asking for donations to the Calgary Rotary Foundation in lieu of flowers.